So I'm going to introduce Barb and Beth are going to be our next set of presenters. Please give them a warm welcome for us.
Thanks, Sherry. That's okay. I've been told I have a very loud voice, so I just assume that everyone can hear me. I actually am having a moment where, wow, somebody can't hear me. I love it. So I'm Barb Tobias. I'm the co-founder, one of the four co-founding moms of Connected Community and the director of the Customized Employment piece of initiative of CTC. We had a parent who asked a question about transportation. I feel like I'm ringing. We had a parent who asked about transportation and membership. So generally, I'm going to go broader than customized employment to answer that question. Very quickly, anyone who wants to join Connected Community can just attend a social. We just have sign-up procedures, and transportation is not provided. And we provide supports on a 1-to-4 ratio. So if your son or daughter needs more supports, then we would need to provide that, whether it's you or a personal support worker or a family friend, whoever that is. But I can answer those questions later, more specifically about our social aspect of Connected Community. So we just send out flyers, our email blasts on social activities. We do about 6 a year. We try to do them once a month during the school year and something during the summer when possible, and more when it works out. So in March we did a bunch of volunteer work, so that was considered our social activities. And we just roll with whatever's happening, and you can sign up, so it's not like you have to form membership or an application process. You can sign up for the event and attend as needed, and we can give you more information if you have questions about that. But right now I want to talk a little bit about CTC's customized employment. You heard a ton about it this morning from Marcy, and you couldn't have a better expert describing what it is. So we started customized employment because we felt that there was this unmet need for our young adults who want to work but didn't have access to employment. And Linda and I were very fortunate enough to be trained in customized employment with Marcy through a grant through Total Link to Community on the North Shore, where we became certified employment specialists. And what we've been able to do is realize the impact that customized employment can have on the quality of life of a person who wants to work, whether it be micro business or part-time to full-time employment. So the thing to know about customized employment is that Marcy described, but from our end, is that it costs about $4,000 to $5,000 to take one job seeker through the entire process, from discovery, where you really get to know that job seeker. You do activities and outings with them to see where their strengths, skills, and support needs are, and then start doing the job search, informational interviews out and around to different businesses to see where the good fit is, all the way to job carving, job negotiation, and then getting them in that job site and creating those supports so that the person has success and the employer has success working with that person, and then you start to fade the process. So it can take 6 to 9 months, sometimes less, sometimes more, but it costs about $4,000 to $5,000. But CTC charges $500 per job seeker because of our extensive fundraising and because of grants that we've been able to receive. So it's a steal of a deal, and we are passionate about the work, and we have been able to train 4 employment specialists. So besides Linda and myself, we have been able to train 4 employment specialists who Beth is going to share our story. Beth Dowd is one of our dear employment specialists, and Dawn Georger, who could not be here today. She is our other employment specialist working for us right now. We do extensive relationship building with our community partners, from the chamber events to Rotary events to just going in when we're out shopping or doing visiting a business. For our own purposes, we identify unmet needs that might be a potential for our job seekers. It is a very different experience than what people think. It is truly one job seeker at a time, one employer at a time. We make that match. It's the happiest hard work I could ever do. And I can't tell you anymore about how passionate we are and how rewarding the job is. So Beth Dowd is going to get to tell the happiest story of the success of our first job seeker who is now employed, AJ Palafis.
Hi. My name is Beth Dowd, and I wanted to talk to you about our adventure with AJ. And I call it an adventure because it started out as a journey. It was fun and exciting, it was new, but we had no idea where we were going to end up. But we knew where we were starting. We were starting with his potential. And so how it starts with discovery is we went to his house and we just talked and had a family discussion with his parents and his brothers. And then we also talked to AJ himself. And then we also talked to extended family and friends that they had thought would be important to hear information from. And so with AJ, it was pretty off the start, you knew right away. Is this me? Okay. Off the start, you knew right away that he was somebody special. As soon as you walked in, he was greeting you, and you just felt really special being in his presence. And so we talked a lot, and we looked around and saw what was important to him in his bedroom, in the room, in the house itself, and we realized that he really liked Wheel of Fortune. And he watched it every day, and he was excited about it, and he even asked us to film his audition to be on Wheel of Fortune Friends. So we knew that was important to him. And also we could tell that he liked to stay in shape, he liked to, I'll stop moving, I think, is what I have to do. I'm not used to this. He liked swimming, and he liked all the Chicago sports teams and had his opinions on how they were being run. And also, AJ, well, the best news is, first of all, why AJ isn't here talking for himself, he's working. But besides the sports teams, then he also liked his church, Willow Creek. And so we looked at that and realized somehow there was something in there. And through interviewing people and through actually our social capital that we had, we were able to have experiences and share experiences. I have no idea. We were able to share experiences with him, with people in the community, because Connect to Community had made those introductions earlier. Okay, so what we ended up doing was we shared his experience, we got all the information about what his interests were and what he liked and his talents were. And this was a team thing because we not only did it with our team with Connect to Community, but we did it with his school team, which was District 211, and Patrick Abraham and his group were very helpful to us because what they could give us was where was he successful, what environments was he successful in, and then they also what kind of supports that they provided to them. So that was in our minds when we went out and looked at different businesses. So once we decided the repeated themes that we heard for AJ was that he had this great memorization, and so we thought we have to capitalize on that. And he greeted people so well, so that fell under hospitality because he wanted to help and he greeted people. And then fitness was important to him and sports. So when we had those themes in mind, then we held a community action team meeting, and that was all of his friends and family and community leaders came to that, and we sat around and we just brainstormed under these broad themes what businesses could fall under them. And then we again went to the social capital of the people in the room and asked, who do you know at these locations? And then we worked with AJ. We came up with this list of potential employers, and he directed where he wanted us to go. And so then we went ahead and went out into the community and met with these business owners and talked to them a lot about what their needs were, if they had any needs, and we were just looking for environment. We were looking for, is this the right culture for AJ? Would he feel comfortable here? Could he do these tasks? And when we were doing this, we came across the Hoffman Estates Park District. And Hoffman Estates Park District had a need. They had 3 fitness locations, and one of them currently had somebody that was taking care of the equipment and also training people, but the other 2 locations didn't. The persons that were involved there that did part of that work, they actually wanted to use them to do larger projects that were coming up in the coming year. So these were not jobs that existed at all, but they thought that there was a possibility they had a need, and we thought AJ could fill that need. What we did do was we went out and observed the one location that actually had this job, because we really wanted to make sure we understood sounds, how people moved around, what the tasks were, and make sure it was a good fit. And we decided, we filmed some of the tasks being done so that we could share it with AJ. And it was a good fit. We thought it was, and we went back to talk to AJ and his family, and they decided that they wanted us to pursue this. So it began then the negotiation process of what were the hours that he could work, where would we start, and how many hours each time that he would be on shift. And we decided that we were going to start at the one location, a smaller location that was just down the road from his house. And we felt that we could set him up there to be successful and then move him to the second location when he was ready. And so the Palafis family was very good about finding job coaches, and we worked together to train the job coaches and worked with Debbie Albig, who was at the Willow Rec Center. And she was tremendous as far as a manager there. She jumped in and made a visual task planner for AJ so that he could keep on track, and then we also used it as a communication tool to give feedback back to Debbie when he was finished with his shift. We worked with the staff that was there just to make sure they were comfortable and they were directing all their questions to AJ and not the job coaches or myself. And so we thought we had everything put out. We also created, a means of collecting data so we knew when we could start a fading process, or if our supports were working or if they were needed at all. And so I have to tell you that the one time that I knew that it was good, we were in the fitness facility, and AJ was working, and I was in there with the job coach who has known him for a long time. And I look up, and in front of the treadmills are 3 TVs. Up pops Wheel of Fortune. Up pops another sporting event. And I looked up at the things, and I was like, and I looked down at AJ, and I was holding my breath, and his eyes got really big, and he was like, Wheel of Fortune? I love Wheel of Fortune. He goes, but I can't watch it because I'm working. And he turned around and went back to work. And I was like, yeah! So I knew it was going to be good. So, so that was the thing that made me feel really good about this placement, and that we thought it was a win-win. Since then, it's been nothing but uphill. AJ has been able to, we looked for natural breaks so that he could come upstairs and meet with the second shift staff so that he would build relationships with all staff members at the beginning and at the end of his shift. And from that, he also got comfortable, and he was able to pass his trial period for work, and we celebrated that. And then he also got a positive written up review from one of the guests that was in the fitness center. So he's starting, his personality about greeting people and making them feel special is coming out. Once he learned the task, then AJ came out, and people are appreciating that. So I thought that was good. In fact, the last time that I went in there, I came in when he was just starting his shift. He saw me, and he introduced me to another person that was just in the waiting room. So I thought that was great, too. So we're very excited about this, that this has been a successful placement. We're in the process of fading supports for him right now and moving him on to the second location. And then, I don't know if Michelle's in the room.
Oh,
There's
she's just walking
whoa, the time that we have here. So we're just talking about AJ. And she had just texted to me that I think AJ just earned his first work credit. So that was awesome. So we're very excited about that. Currently now we're also working with 2 other job seekers. You're going to listen to one of the job seekers later on today. So if you're interested in customized employment for yourself, you'll see that there's a little piece at the bottom of the second sheet.
Describes it, and then the second page.
Just fill it out or come see one of us or email us. And also, you'll also get a testimony of Michelle and the impact of AJ working and what it's had on their family. I don't know if you want to say anything or...
When AJ left high school, and technically he's just walked, he has not graduated, he's still in the adult transition program at Palatine High School. He just had a deep sense of loneliness and a need for wanting to belong. He just knew that there was a greater purpose in his life. And as a mother, I sat there going, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? How do we help this? And this amazing organization approached us about helping AJ, and we had a relation with Connected Community as well. And just to watch us go through this process where they worked to get to know who he really was, where his strengths were, where his not so strengths were to avoid, where his passions were, and now they get the input of the people who loved and supported him was so valuable. And then to have him land a position, and the coolest thing is having them go through the process of really weaning off the job coach so he could be as independent as possible given his disability. It has been an incredible gift to our family and mainly to AJ. He has life in his spirit that he lost when he graduated, and he is so inspired to just go the leg of being an adult now, Mom.
Yeah, I just want to end that it's a relationship between the job seeker, the family, the school, and their social capital between the family and the community. And we all work together. It's about, as Marcy said, you're good to go as you are, no fixing necessary. We just identify strengths and interest, and we look for what the support needs are, and we just create it. It's, as I said, it's the happiest hard work you could do. And I think what Beth was saying when she said uphill was what she meant was the sky's the limit for AJ. It's been an absolute joy to see that when the right job fits the job seeker, you can just keep moving forward, and it just falls into place. The other interesting thing I'd like to say, just in closing, because I know we're running out of time, is that what happened with Hoffman Estates Park District which is a great example of what happens with employers or businesses. We reached out to him, we showed him AJ's living resume, dynamic resume, and then we talked to him about AJ's skills, talents, interests, and passions, and his 3 vocational themes. This man did not know he needed someone to clean his fitness centers until we started to talk with him. And then he said, wait a minute, I could really use some help to take my staff, who now has to clean for an hour and a half every night in the fitness center. If I could get someone to come in and clean those 2 fitness centers, that would free up that staff to do other big projects that we need done. Let me take it to my board and see if I can get approval. It's that simple. It's about not following rules. It's about being polite and opening doors and finding ways to make those connections. It's just great. So you never know where that next job will lead. So very exciting work. As we said, feel free to email us, talk to us afterwards, or fill out one of these forms, drop them at the registration table, or with any one of us CTC members. Thank you. Oh, one more thing.
I'm sorry. Round 2. I just wanted to comment on something that Marcy had talked about earlier, and that was economic asset. And AJ has become an economic asset for Hoffman Estates Park District because they didn't have anybody in there promoting them inside the fitness center. Now they do, and it's obvious in people writing about him and how good he is. So he is an economic asset at this point. Thank you.